in charge of eBay. We're going to basically show you how to plant. What works for us is not going to work for everybody, so bear with us. We do what's simple and cost-effective and what's easy. Nowadays we're recycling, so we wash the pots, we use Clorox, wash them, scrub them good, try to keep them clean as much as possible. A little bit of styrofoam peanuts for the drainage, because a lot of times you see a lot of nurseries now, they're not using any styrofoam peanuts, but we tend to use styrofoam peanuts. Let me get to what we're going to be planting tonight is LC Fair Catherine, nice partner. So pretty nice flower, 5 to 6 inch flower, blooms in clusters. It blooms Mother's Day, that's why we cloned it. It always seems to bloom like the week before Mother's Day, so just right. Okay, but you guys can pass around the pictures and take a look.
Very, very nice.
So basically, what you guys are going to do is form a line.
Take pictures.
Let's not all rush and mob us like the past years. We're going to try and help you guys the best we can to pot them up. Should have some extras, so the real novice people that need extra help, then I'll spend some time with you guys and have personally show you how it's done. But basically, most orchids, there's a front and back to them. The tall new lead, the tallest pseudobulb is usually the front of the plant, whereas these are the older plants. These are old. This plant's probably about 3 to 4 years old already. So Cattleyas, before they bloom, they got to be at least 5 to 6 years old for standard size, the big flowers. Okay, so basically this is about 4 years old. We let it overgrow in a 2-inch pot recently. I had my workers at home. They bare rooted it for us. They prepped it. So it makes it real simple for us here. But basically, they bare root some of the old bark out, cut some of the bad roots off, and it's pretty much ready to pot. So what you want to do is put the back of the plant against the back wall, and give yourself some room for the plant to grow forward. Otherwise, if you put it right in the front like this, the next will work for everybody else, but hopefully it does. Okay. So basically, this is the front. Again, the tallest pseudobulb, guys. So when you bring it up, you guys should have it ready already. This is the front. I'm going to test you. My guys know which is the front and back of a plant. So they're going to test you. Okay, you bring it up. You should tell them this is the front. Okay, so you want to give it as much room as possible to grow forward. A lot of people, even my workers at home, I keep scolding them. I make them repot 1,000 plants last month. They planted it all wrong. These guys can tell you. My mom was really pissed. You guys are just going to get fired. Okay, so I'll tell you the truth. When I was young, I never listened. I always planted any way I wanted to, and my dad would go in the greenhouse, and he would be like pulling out the plants and telling me, okay, all the ones that I put up, keep the bark, and redo everything. And it took me a while to understand why. Okay, after he finally let the plants grow, then he started showing me, you see, the new growth is hanging over the pot already. Now you're going to have to repot it anyway. And I'm like, oh, okay, I understand now. So now I finally realized after 20 years, planted correctly. Okay, so this is the front. Okay, guys, remember, this is the tallest new pseudobulb is the front. This is the back. This part rarely ever grows. The plant usually only grows in one direction. Okay? So just like the pseudobulb, just like the flowers, wherever the sun's facing, they're going to slowly curve to where the sun's facing. Okay? Go right ahead.
Where do you fertilize it? Where do you fertilize it?
When do we fertilize? We're commercial, so it's in my watering system. I use the Michigan State formula, the 13-213. They used to sell it here. Also use time-release fertilizer, Nutricoat, the 13-13-13, and then a little bit of dolomite. But that's pretty much standard for us.
Did you add any dolomite or fertilizer to the mixture?
I don't. I mean, I see a lot of nurseries do. I go to Waianae a lot. I see the nurseries with they have the big cement mixers or the plaster mixers. I see them, for every 2 bags of bark, they put, one or two, about a 5-gallon size bucket of perlite. Some of the nurseries use peat moss, and then I see them add like two full cups of Nutricoat in the mix. But we don't tend to do that. I tend to plant my plants more tight in the pot. So basically I put 1 whole pinch of fertilizer. For this size plant, I'll put about 20 to 30 pellets. Sprinkle it on the surface. And then I use the dolomite and I dress it. It's just like I just dress it on the surface. This doesn't break down. This is just agriculture lime. So we'll just keep the bark pretty preserved. Okay. But, I see people just use Nutricoat and it works fine for them because every time you water it, it releases nutrients it's moisture sensitive, yeah? So every time it gets wet, it releases a little bit of nutrients. It's good for 6 months, 180-day formula. But being commercial, we have to cheat. We do fertilize pretty heavy year round. I don't stop. We just keep pouring it in the injector every week. So, yeah. But, everybody's different. I would say for you guys, maybe every other week you might want to fertilize with the water-soluble fertilizer. That's typical. That's what I tell most people on the mainland. Everybody's different. Everybody has different growing conditions. People on the mainland grow indoors. Most of them grow indoors because during the winter months it's colder. Here in Hawaii, we take it for granted. We're spoiled. We throw everything outside. So like my sister in Vancouver, Washington, well, she's spoiled too because when she kills stuff, she just calls and says, send me a box. Okay? So, everybody's different. You just gotta keep trying. Some things are gonna work for you, others won't. But, eventually you find the right system, the right watering, the amount of light. Most people don't realize lighting. Even here, some plants like my green ones there, full sun. Okay? It's in our parking lot. If you ever come to our nursery, you'll see 3,000 of them in full sun, just burning. But they look good. They tend to like it, but we water every other day because it's in full sun. It dries off real quick. These guys, I would say water twice a week. Just drench them really well.
Do you give a special price on the water you're using, the price of water going up?
I don't pay the bills. My mom pays the bills, so I just sell the orchids, but it might affect the cost of the plants eventually. It affects it, just like the price of bark. We used to be $9 last year from BEI. Now it's gone up to $11.50 a bag. So everything's going up, but the price of orchids, the problem is the price of orchids is going down. So sooner or later, something's going to conk out. One of us are going to give up. But, so that's why we got to recycle. Before we used to throw away all the pots. Now, can't do it too much. One pot cost us like 12 cents or maybe more now because the price of shipping. So you got to recycle. Even the bags of foam. We buy these big bags of foam, $30 now. Wow, now we have to think, 4 peanuts. 4 cents or 5 cents. But you figure it adds up. Everything adds up. So, you guys don't see it. You grow 20 to 100 plants. We grow 200,000, right? So it gets expensive. Then we got to pay the guys, feed them, Slave labor, right? He works for family now, so. Okay. Anyway, guys. Okay, so front and back, okay? You guys know, right? You guys, usually the tallest pseudobulb is the front. Okay, so go ahead and place it. You don't want to, we're going to show you, so when you come up here, it might be easier to see. But you don't want to bury it, you don't want to sink it all the way down and cover it all up here. You want to keep it so this pseudobulb's above the bark. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use pots, scoop them up. You can use shovels, you can use, I've seen guys doing all kind of things. But I just pile it on, and we get a broomstick that we cut. At home, I usually use a screwdriver, but you can just go in and tap it in lightly. I've seen guys just go full on tapping it in. You just tap it in lightly. But you don't want to bury the pot, bury the thing. You should be able to pick it up after, kind of like this. So it's supposed to sit up nice and straight. You know, then grab your pinch of fertilizer, just pinch it on there, and the dolomite. And don't forget, always put a label. Always put a label. Okay. But pretty much that's it. It should be pretty solid in there. Pretty good. I make it look easy. 20 years or 30 years of doing this, I should be good at it. So, anybody have questions with anything? You guys are all gonna try, and if you screw up, you can. I probably brought more than enough, so you can try again. Okay. So go ahead and.